This is what a $900 closet looks like. Now let's talk about making a baby in it.
What?
Back in the 1950s, even you, yes, you, the terminally online 4chan user, would have probably had a kid by now. Honey, I'm home. They gave me a raise.
Why in the hell would anyone do that? That sounds like a terrible idea.
Yeah, I know, right? They said it was just for existing.
Well, that's great, honey. Have you ever considered stopping?
All the time. Oh, wow. Little Sally wants to say your first word.
Mortgage default.
No, they grow up into a liability so fast. Back then, you'd get a job and maybe even a house, crank out a couple kids, and pat yourself on the back for winning the war your parents fought in. But what about now, in the 2020s? Raising a kid today isn't a milestone. It's a financial suicide pact with your future self. Diapers and baby food cost more than rent, and daycare, that's just rent 2.0. Except this time, you don't even get a roof, just a monthly invoice, and then the gnawing sense that someone else is raising your kid.
Why are we still here?
All in a world where chasing your dreams is like chasing a white picket fence on minimum wage, while someone sets your shoelaces on fire in a game of long jump. Even if you're an amazing parent, there's still a chance your kid grows up to resent you for not fucking helping them to become a TikTok degenerate, or worse, a YouTuber. Thanks for the donors, chat. Dad's crying again, lol. In the modern world, Parenthood feels like cable TV. Expensive, outdated, and somehow still trying to upsell us during our free time. Considering the uneventful life my parents gave me in the US of A, love you mom and dad, I have to say, would you really want your kid growing up in some cul-de-sac hellscape in the middle of nowhere, walking up and down a Strode just to kill time, because no one will hire them? Hey, you know what Strode rhymes with? I honestly wanted to know the answer, so I asked myself the question, why starting a family now feels like applying for a loan you already know you're gonna default on. Spoiler alert, it's called repressed emotional rage and financial bankruptcy, but since it's been gnawing at my brain for a few weeks, I did what any rational adult would do, masturbate. I brought it up in a basement with 3 of my most emotionally unstable friends. What followed was not helpful. This is what a $900 closet looks like. Now let's talk about making a baby in it.
What?
Kids, thoughts?
Something, future, yada yada. What about them? They're diseased.
So, you want any of your own?
No. This branch of the family tree snaps off with me and my big ginger eggs.
Cool. That's maybe later.
Ah, for Christ's sake, no! How many times I gotta tell you I'm a fanoik? I'm not interested. What am I? No, I'm queer.
Oh, interesting. You see, I thought you were gay.
You guys realize that the average age of this conversation is like 12, right?
Only emotionally. Chronologically, we peaked in 2017.
I'm just casually planning for my legacy while eating instant ramen in a $900 closet, but...
I could see myself wanting kids. I just don't know how you're supposed to raise one when you can't even afford new underwear.
Being born is the first trauma we never recover from. Is there any good reason I should volunteer somebody else for the task?
Lane, 1 sec. Maybe I can afford your underwear.
You can't even afford eye contact.
Oh.
Shh, don't listen to her. She's a girl. They're not people like us.
You mean not stupid like you?
Tantris, every time you open your mouth, a woman becomes a feminist.
Yeah, and we got quite enough of those blue-haired fucking shrews walking among us. Ugh.
This conversation is sounding more and more like a Reddit thread.
People talk more passionately about Legos on Reddit than kids. Don't go to Reddit for fucking anything.
Gundam doesn't cost $310,000 on a slow death of your identity. Just saying. And who knows? Even if I die childless, maybe the algorithm will remember me. Lane, you enjoy doing the podcast with me, right?
It was therapeutic, until I realized I'm basically monologuing into a surveillance feed.
That podcast is birth control.
Oh!
At least our pullout game is strong. Emotionally. But you're right. Is human existence really worth replicating? Why would I clone my suffering and give it a name?
Aw, Jesus, Lane, not another one, please. Why should I clone my suffering? Ugh, quiet. Just tip your drink back, have a smile, and let's talk about boobs. Or you guys talk about... Dude, just don't... You're killing the mood, you know? You give this guy one hit of sake and he starts talking like fucking Dostoevsky. I'm ready to slit my wrists here. Is it any better than blowing into a goddamn gym sock? Who gives a fuck?
No, Adam. I think he's just being devil's advocate. Besides, my suffering already has a name. It's Tantris.
Oh wow, that's what my suffering is called too.
You know, I bet your suffering is very handsome.
Well, he is actually.
Alright, we get it. Procreation is just plagiarism with extra steps. I mean, you wouldn't photocopy a bad poem, would you?
No. Well, that obviously didn't go so well, but I arrived at some of my own conclusions after that. So there I was, some random morning a few days ago, lying against my refrigerator, half dreaming, half conscious, and fully questioning my life choices while staring at the round coffee cup marks on the table, which looked suspiciously like my bank balance. And then it hit me like a price increase in the 2008 recession. If I can't even afford 4 walls and a working shower, what's my future? And why the hell could I, or let alone anyone, be budgeting for a baby? Because in the United States of 2025, also known as the land of the free home of the broke, the going rate for spawning a tiny, screaming, money-sucking human is about $310,000. Give or take the will to live with yourself after committing to 18 years in this garbage economy. And what do you get out of it? Let's find out. So, kind of a strange pick for you today. Would you like the 1998 Honda Accord or one child? Why in the hell are you selling children? What else do you want me to do? Okay, fine, but before you fucking murder that child, I really had to choose. I don't know, probably the one that doesn't eat my entire paycheck, maybe? Oh yeah? Well, looks like you're gonna be walking. And childless. I think you're the one that's gonna be childless soon, looking at that thing. Welcome to the future, Mr. Humble. Glad to have you. You know what? Never mind. I'll just name my debt and raise that instead. Come on, little APR. Daddy needs a tax write-off. Seriously though, like something around $20,000 per year, I guess that could be a bargain. If your long-term plan involves faking your death and relocating to rural Romania with a guy named Boris who sells black market vacuums out of the back of a van. I mean, sure, you could write to your future kid via snail mail in secret like the Uniba. Dear offspring, sorry I couldn't afford to raise you. Hope this letter gets there safely before society collapses. But let's be real. The money game screws us all. I recently realized 2 fun facts about the Federal Reserve. 1, it's not federal. 2, it just makes up numbers now. Like that one autistic kid in elementary school who kept inventing rules mid-game so he could keep winning. Actually, if you lose twice in a row, you get a revenge turn with double points and a lightsaber. Yeah, that's the US economy. So thank you, sincerely, to the US Federal Reserve for turning capitalism into Calvin Ball with a debt ceiling. Okay, so first we gotta have the rights to print all the money. Then we lend it to the people who don't have it. Then we charge interest on it, which is also made up. And if you complain, we raise the interest just to see how you react. Wait, isn't that usury? Hey, who taught you that word? Shh. Even if you wanted a kid, and let's pretend you do for the sake of argument, or maybe because the lead paint in your apartment's finally kicked in, the modern world punishes you for doing the very thing it actually needs to keep going. All the while, you double your duties and have your freedoms. As well as a high probability of crying in your car outside of Walmart because the daycare bill now costs more than your rent. And now you're dreading going home because it reminds you of having to repeat your shitty work schedule the next day. But sure, dude, that's just a conspiracy, right?
Toxic Positivity Hotline. Have you tried just thinking happy thoughts?
Okay, my kid's daycare just raised tuition again, and my fridge broke, and,
Someone always has it worse, you know? You should be grateful.
Look, lady, my car just got towed.
We believe in you. You got this.
No, I don't got this. Like, it got towed. I literally don't have it anymore.
Maybe it's not here physically, but I'm sure it's here in spirit.
I'll show you who's there in spirit.
What do you mean?
Maybe we should all just move to some super affordable city like Boston or San Francisco so as to enjoy the deluxe version of economic misery. That with a side of syringes for when we all become drug addicts and eventually go homeless. Why? Because you're just not talented enough to write 3 programs worth of code in 5 minutes and reinvent every industry that pretends they're hiring. Who the hell wants to send their kids to American public school where they'll be indoctrinated into whatever is trending on Twitter that week? I mean X. Hey man, I'm pretty cool. Reddit. You're what happens when Twitter and every midwit in the world had a baby no one wants to claim and then gaslit it into thinking it's actually smart. Well, actually, that's a straw man fallacy if you read the footnotes in my post. Jesus Christ. Why does this thing talk? Hey, who let this guy in here? I'm doing a show? As I was saying anyway, only a fucking idiot so far removed from reality itself would think that it's okay to deprive the 99% of the population from a decent quality of living and then complain that no one is having enough children to maintain civilization. But the real tragedy here isn't the money. No, the real tragedy is time. We're actually losing about an hour of free time a day compared to the baby boomers. Such an apt name. Because you know what? They are babies. Always complaining and gaslighting younger generations without recognizing that comparatively, we have 365 hours less to be free every year. That's 15 straight days of the potential to make art, sleep, or finally start that novel you weren't going to write. But no, now it's all gone. And that's just the surface. Because do you really think your boss is going to feel sympathy for you, wanting to get off work when he knows you're easily replaceable anyway? Hello, Boomer Complaint Hotline. I work 60 hours a week and still can't afford rent. Maybe stop complaining and try not being poor. Dude, I live in my car. Well, it's paid off, right? It's called owning property. Fucking assholes. Meanwhile, your average 30-year-old is grinding 40 hours plus a week just to rent the inside of a refurbished toaster oven, eat bland-flavored pasta 5 nights a week, and watch their dreams flatline in a Google Sheet, probably ghostwritten by ChatGPT on autopilot. Welcome to the Millennial Starter Pack. A bachelor's degree, $60,000 in debt, and a fridge that screams when it closes. Government sweep. Nobody wants to start a family anymore. Then offers 0 paid maternity leave, 0 job security, and an economy so hostile it makes Mad Max look like a Subaru commercial. Here's the real tragedy. There are people out there who should be parents. People with love, stability, maybe even a sliver of hope left in the tank. But instead of raising kids, they're raising their credit scores, 3 job apps, 2 side hustles, and 1 existential breakdown per week. Gig economy grind set, baby. So congrats, elite class. You did it. You broke the economy, shattered our spirits, and now you're confused we're not lining up to breed future taxpayers for your dystopia. At this point, having a child is like becoming an Uber driver. Except the customer cries, shits its pants, and never tips. That's it! Get out! Okay, never mind. I'm calling your mother. Chapter 2. Kids, that's a personality now. So we've established our main points here. Why cloning oneself just to drop them into a late-stage capitalism running on Dark Souls levels of difficulty, with a tutorial that's paywall and gatekept by nepotism, an economy that's fake on top of already being rigged, and a moral compass as clear as a schizophrenic's group chat. And what then? They dodge the corporate meat grinder, crawl through Burnout Alley, and maybe, if they're lucky, they can afford a therapist who takes XP points instead of insurance. The legend of Tantris, a yearn for the past. Long ago, in the distant realm of the economy, there lived a weary hero named Tantris, bearer of student debt and Reddit-induced trauma. Armed only with his +1 coping mechanism and a cursed diploma forged in the flames of obsolete academia, he set out on a perilous quest to unlock the forbidden skill of an affordable lifestyle. To tame your anxious spirit, you must offer 5,000 XP or a valid insurance card. Our hero had neither coins nor coverage, only a battered inventory of expired SSRIs and a half-eaten cup of noodles. So he did what all chosen ones must. He cried, then opened his bag, then cried again. Even scientists, the buzzkills who measure this apocalypse, are noping out of this shit. 7% of female climate researchers chose no kids because Earth's Yelp rating has plummeted to 0 stars and a flaming trash emoji. Great Scott! I just ran the numbers. If we make 1 more baby, sea level rises 12 feet, and the Jeffrey Epstein files will be lost forever. I made a child once. She learned what wage slaving was. Haven't heard from her since. 3 years of parenting for nothing. If even these damn scientists have started to saw off their own branches of the family tree, that's a red flag the size of Greenland's missing ice shelf and then some. Because if we can't even guarantee living spaces or non-melting infrastructure, what exactly are we passing down? A Spotify playlist of coping mechanisms and a coupon for half-price therapy on BetterHelp? I mean, are you fucking kidding me? So here we are, the part where we ask the main point of this video and life's most tender human question we've been asking ourselves since we took sex ed. Why should we have kids? Oh, you didn't take sex ed? Nice, I didn't know they taught repression and panic attacks. Must have been the Catholic version. So if we're not supposed to use condoms, what are we supposed to do?
Ah, Michael, great question. Abstinence is like God's condom. Besides, the Lord will know if you're touching yourself. Trust me, I used to teach health class before that incident.
But in 2025, that question has evolved, metastasized even, like a virus that's read one too many books by Arthur Schopenhauer. Now the real question is it even ethical to have them? And the answer from some is apparently, LOL, nope! And as sad as that is, I can't blame the millions of Zoomers hunched over their computers on the second floor of their parents' houses. Enter antinatalism, or pro-fatalism, or smelly gatalism, which again is a bomb word, the philosophical grenade pin nobody wants to touch except for your next door neighbor who accidentally red-pilled himself by using 4chan to fact-check their sources. Imagine a world with no pain, no taxes, and no Mondays. Oh wow, like vacation? No, like non-existence. It's insane to me that 40% of people in some European studies think having children might actually be morally wrong, like they're kicking puppies or making a live-action Snow White remake. Good thing they never made that movie. And in America, 47% of adults under 50 who don't have kids say they never will, by choice. Not because they can't or because they're waiting to feel ready, but because they looked at life, shrugged, and said, hell no, I wouldn't even wish this on my enemy, which you should. And the point I'm really trying to get at for the person who's never really sat down for a second and thought about the tragedy of existence is, this generation isn't rejecting kids out of pure laziness or rampant narcissism or anything, but because they've actually kind of faced the absurdity of having them and the question of justifying reproduction as a whole. Nothing ruins a good time like critical thinking. It's hard to conceptualize that this doesn't just stem from the feeling of I can't afford shit, or even I'm too busy, but rather I don't want to hand a newborn a flaming baton, a crumbling world run by Henry Kissinger wannabes and say, good luck champ, you got this. You wouldn't hand someone a parachute with a hole in it, so why would you hand them a tattered chance at life in a world ruined by selfish idiots who continue generation after generation to fuck over the lower half of society and justify it so callously?
You're a sutnoid, but that's okay. Scrutly muttly. Your mother is?
Stop! That was meant for you, damn it. We're on YouTube right now. Think of all the people watching this.
Oops. Well, thanks for the poem, but I think that's enough conversation for me today.
Don't you mean conversational aids?
That's my cue.
Q means dick in French.
Honestly, that was the most effective form of contraception I've ever witnessed.
Speak for yourself, asshat. I love conversational aids.
You mean grids?
Grids? Oh, you wise ass.
So, no kids then. If you haven't already, please subscribe and be sure to check my new album coming out next month. But as always, Scrutly Mutley.